Welcome, Prithviraj Chowdhuri. We are sitting here today in beautiful campus of St. John's University in Collegeville, Minnesota. Greetings. We had a full day today. It's 5 o'clock here in Minnesota time in USA. And we were very blessed to have you today talk with our students, our faculty, members of our monastic community, our art studios. And we just finished an amazing lecture, talk, seminar, as well as visual portraits of your art, which was so well received. We had over 200 people in the audience, and everyone was pretty glued to the monitors. And also we had an amazing sessions where there were some good questions being asked. So we come basically from our recording studio here in our campus in our university. My name is Kingshuk Mukherjee. Like Prithvi, I was also born in Kolkata, India. I've been in the university for 16 years. I'm the chair of a global business leadership department, also the endowed chair of Ralph Cross, chair of business and liberal arts. So with that, my introduction, I will pass on to Prithvi to introduce himself to this gathering.
Well, my name is Prithviraj Chowdhuri. I've come all the way from India to do my art exhibition called Mythoscape. And as most of you happen to know, that my art exhibitions are called Mythoscape, and this time it is the Minnesota chapter. And thank you, St. John's University and College of St. Benedict, for having me at the campus with such a wonderful hospitality and a beautiful experience interacting with the audience. Today, almost 200 students turned up to listen to my lecture and my presentation on my art on mythology, where I could share my vision as well as my experience working with Indian mythology. And I managed to come to the Midwest for the first time. Every time, King, I visit the West Coast or the East Coast. This is for the first time. You literally coaxed me to come here, and now I understand that it was a beautiful experience. It was great talking to people, such knowledgeable audience. They had the perfect questions in their mind. They could ask me the right questions, and I'm very happy that I could become the medium of expression of mind, where I could answer to most of their questions. And I personally feel that art has got no boundaries. Art happens to be a language which has to really unite people. It doesn't matter where you are showcasing your art. Imagine, I had been showcasing Bengal Kalighat School genre of art at Minnesota. How weird, how great it sounds. I mean, listening to this entire thing, it feels very crazy, right? Bengal Kalighat School at Minnesota. But it happened. Correct. To my surprise. Correct. People were intrigued to my talk. People were listening to me, and there were such wonderful faculty from various departments of art and theology asking me about questions which are so nice. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm loving it. And right now, I'm sitting with King at the recording studio. And let me see what questions he has got for me.
Thank you, Prithvi. And I just feel it was just yesterday when we visioned for the first time sitting at the South City Mall, just towards the end of June. And today, we are early September fall, beautiful fall day here in Minnesota. That we are right here. So I'm glad that you could come all the way and stop by in the middle of the country, an upper Midwest, which has its own charm and beauty. So having said that, and the students and myself and my fellow faculty members, members of the community, members of the press, heard you talking about bringing the Kalighat genre of art, which has been over there hundreds of years, in its modern, very polished way to our students for your work, and you talk to them. My question is, what's your plan to keep this legacy going and get this art more globally accepted as we try to do in the Midwest?
Well, King, I always feel that the legacy has to outlast me as a person. Today I am here. Tomorrow I'll die. But the legacy cannot die. The art has to move on. The art has to really create the same impact in people, bringing all the joy and happiness. And King, you know what I have also realized that because of the huge demand, what exactly I'm coming across, and I really understand that this particular art genre is a dying art genre, and I'm actually working on the revival of it. So I have actually got an atelier, a group of fellow artists getting trained under me. I'm training them with the right skill set and also the techniques so that they can inculcate this in their part of their skill, and they can produce, they can work on this particular art genre. I personally feel that art has to be shared. Creating an art and not sharing will never allow the art to really grow beyond a particular boundary. We have to really, push hard to stretch the boundary so that art keeps on flowing, and I will be the happiest person when someday when I get to see that the art wins over the artist. What I mean to say is that the art really gets spread all over the world, which I'm actually doing. This had been my father's wish, which he could not fulfill because he died very young, at an age of 41 years. Now, that was one of the major stimulators in my mind to really take up this art genre and practice it. And just like an art travel blogger, I had been moving all around and meeting people, meeting new audience. The way you got me introduced to a totally new audience. They never heard about mythology. Forget about Indian mythology. They never heard about Indian gods and goddess. And I was very surprised to see they had been listening to our discussion with active interest. Okay. And I personally feel this particular art has to really, the show must go on, the art has to flow. And my atelier is shaping up very nice. And that's how it has to move on.
Correct. As we say, it's great that you're living the legacy of your grandparent and parent. As we say, the show must go on. And today, many of them do not know much of India, especially in upper Midwest.
I can see that.
Where it's very different kind of demography compared to San Francisco and New York, and of course from Mumbai and Kolkata. But it was amazing to see, but over 2 hours, close to 200 faculty, staff, students, press, community members were pretty much glued. That they forgot to pick up the cookies, which was there. So that's a good problem.
We can consider that to be like a good problem to have.
Correct.
A good parameter to actually evaluate the intersection. I'm very happy that, I could deliver exactly what your commitment
and the vision,
was expecting.
our shared
very
vision.
Important. You had the vision of getting me here, and I could deliver, and I'm very happy with it.
Sure. And as you're taking this rare form of art globally now, with music and art, knows no boundaries, no language. As we see in US, K-pop, is so big right now, and hardly they sing in English. Same with the art. So given this, your journey from Kolkata to Mumbai to San Francisco to New York to Dubai to everywhere.
And now to Minnesota.
And now to Minnesota, central Minnesota, in a beautiful state which has over 10,000 lakes. How do you feel you can contribute through your art, through your passion, through your words, through your deep understanding of Indian mythology to a change in the society, both in Indian context as well as American context, which is also changing very fast, and we have an upcoming election?
Yeah, very much. And I guess if everything goes fine, definitely, we get to have someone from the Indian origin. Not that I'm an American to talk about that, but it was very interesting.
The whole world is watching.
How Indian origin is creating an impact all over the world. Well, let me answer to your question. First of all, Indian mythology goes back centuries, and it has got a very rich tapestry of stories, folklores, characters, gods and goddesses, deities. There are so many narratives which had been shaping up the moral value system of the Indians through ages. And I personally feel that this particular medium of art through which I can talk about all these rich stories which are already there in our country and communicate and reach out to people. And this has got a definite impact on the social structure, independent of whether it is in India or America or anywhere else. We have to always understand that these days kids are very restless. Their brains are too active. Too much of content is entering their brain, creating a lot of neurons moving in the brains, and they are so much less patient, overactive, hyperactive, and we come across such examples very frequently these days. And not only that, eventually they become closed and shut within themselves. They cannot express themselves beyond their own personal need and agenda. They become selfish, and eventually they just get lost in the whole world, and they get into different vices we come across, and that is probably eating up the entire piece of this world. And I personally feel that the mythology, art, and what exactly I'm practicing, all the stories with the moral values can really enrich them with the right kind of value system. And not only that, I always believe that along with everything else, your spiritual balance has to really shape up parallel to all other faculties what you're getting trained under. You are really racing all the time, competing with people, facing the society, and even if you do not want, society is making you extremely lonely, and this loneliness is creating all the problems like the drugs and all the nonsense what's happening all around. And but if you understand that the mythology, art, the value system, gradually if people can really read them, see them, understand the stories, they understand that life is definitely complex. There are different layers of complexities, but a bit of spiritual balance will help them to relax their mind, calm them down, so that they can actually think better, do better, and eventually evolve as a much better human being, which is very important for today's world. We need to heal the world, and the kids are our future. They are definitely going to define a very good future. And if my art can be therapeutic, and I'll be very happy to be the ambassador of art and help them in every possible way to see a better tomorrow.
And that's so well said, because in America, like in Mumbai, Kolkata, we keep on running a rat race. As if I put my professor hat, we say we run a society of McDonaldization of the society, instant gratification. And in my opinion, the two biggest problems of America are the drugs and guns, especially for young people.
Oh yes,
and
the guns are like really a problem for face.
So what you just said, that healing, spirituality, inner peace, calmness, selflessness, all these mythological which we learned in India, if we can transfer that to the young population here, definitely that will help us to create a more, a society which is not always on a rat race. Because at the end of the day, a rat only wins a rat race.
Absolutely. And we need to have a very healthy community, and only then we can think of wealth. Correct. An unhealthy society can never satisfy you, even if you are actually getting and procuring all the wealth in life.
Correct. And the next question, in the context, let me put it. Here we are sitting in St. John's University. It is over 157 years old.
Amazing.
Beautiful campus, which is
a
men's university.
It is so nice.
And then we will take you to our College of St. Benedict, the women's campus run by the sisters, founded by the sisters, over 115 years old. So it's a community within a community itself. It's self-sustaining. And it is a school where liberal arts education, liberal arts means, where you value your history, your philosophy, your theology, fine arts, music, on that context. And I'm from a business department, so we value or we believe over 157 years that you need a broader mindset to excel in life in any field you do. And all our students here live all 4 years in campus. It's almost like a Gurukul kind of a system what we used to have in India, in an American way, in a very Midwestern way, in a very Benedictine way. The Benedict who founded these institutions over 157 years back, just like the Jesuit founded so many amazing institutions in Kolkata and Mumbai or across India. So given that context, and art is very challenging, and it is very, very competitive, what will be your advice to not only to a budding artist, but how art and business and art can help each other, and this can flourish together in a liberal arts setting, which we have existed here in this campuses 157 years.
King, let me tell you something, just doing art for art's sake, that is not really a self-sustainable model when it comes to really planning for a very consistent livelihood. And I personally feel that in spite of having all the talent and skill and experience in your basket, if you really acquire the creativity acumen and create something, that's like winning half the battle. And I always believe that we have to really understand the match between the creativity and the commerce. Always understand that creativity has to get married to commerce if you really want a sustainable career in art. And for that, I personally believe, and I always try to suggest to youngsters and so many fellow artists back home, and even in like abroad where I come across different art exchange events and programs, that guys, you have to also learn the trick of selling your art. Just like creating art is important, selling the art is equally important. For that, you have to understand how you can define the X factor and also reach out to people and make that particular distinction very objective and very clear to people. And these days is very important. In this fast-moving world, packaging is very important. When I say packaging, it's not about just how you pack your art, but also about, you have to understand, you have to also package yourself. You have to really create a brand out of your art, and you have to work for that particular brand.
Correct.
And you have to become an artist, correct, and who is also a brand.
Correct.
So it's very important that you have to take it in this way. You have to become an employee to a brand, which is your art, and also the artist in you.
Correct.
And you have to probably take up some definite strategy which can foster growth in an artist in terms of expression, in terms of presentation, in terms of talking to the patrons, the fans, the followers, the base where probably he wants to really promote his art. And also very important that I always believed in this, and I always felt that iconism is very important in any artist's art. When I say iconism, I understand that there has to be a pattern or a recollection factor which will keep on hammering people's minds, so that somewhere down the line, people will get to associate your art form and genre with your name. And that's very important. For that, we have to really be very careful enough to understand what are the tools we can adapt. These days, there are so many different platforms you get for promoting your art. And also, just remember, art for art's sake is a myth. And
Correct.
if you really want to really sustain your passion, you have to learn, understand, and practice how to sell your art.
Right.
And that's probably what I believe.
And I think many young people are getting it, like they are conscious about self branding, social media, getting out there. But so both business needs art and arts needs business.
Absolutely.
That's
symbiotic.
basically the symbiotic relationship. More working together, more collaboration we can do. Just like we are sitting, it was yesterday, sitting in South City Mall, and today we are in St. John's recording studio.
Amazing.
Right here.
Yes.
Now, let me change the topic a little bit. And we saw a display of beautiful artwork with bright colors. The student asked amazing questions. We talked about, Durga. We talk about Vishnu. We talk about Shiv. We talk about all these, god and goddesses, which, growing up in India, we know that. But the way it was presented was spectacularly. The way the visual effects, the storytelling, it captured the hearts and minds of the young people today, as we saw. Now, this has the basis in religion, especially Hindu religion. So while you're presenting and promoting and taking this rare form of art, not only bringing it in limelight in India, but around the globe now, that's your mission in life. Do you feel that you are trying to promote religion, or what is the scope and scale, especially in the context we are sitting in a Catholic Benedictine institute right here?
It sounds very interesting that I took few Hindu gods and goddesses like Durga, Shiva, Vishnu, and Ganesha out on a vacation to St. Benedict College, and they had a lovely time.
Okay.
So this clearly has to say that I'm not really promoting religion. And there is a very significant difference between religion and spiritualism, let's put it this way. Religion is abided by the dogma and the doctrine and some set of do's and don'ts. And it's a faith where probably you have to believe in and practice. So we often say that we practice religion. But when it comes to, spiritualism is like defining a template in life, how you can live your life. That's a template which will guide you to really do good so that you could acquire some good points. In our Hindu mythology, we call them karma. That's a very new term, just like selfie. It hardly existed a few years back. I mean, now selfie is probably there in the dictionary, and I'm sure that karma will soon get a position and a place in the dictionary. So what I understand that, this template will guide you to really think good, think healthy, do good to people, so that eventually you are rewarded positively. And we understand that we are nothing but a medium through which energy passes, and if we can actually channelize the positive energy spread around us, then definitely, our contribution towards this world gets noticed. And I sometimes feel that we are all blessed people. And there are so many ways which every day morning I feel when I wake up that we are so blessed. And this happens because universe has given all this to us. And it's time for us to also give it back to the universe. And I personally feel that this spiritual balance in life is extremely important, which is going to help one to really understand the essence of life and really get motivated enough to really inspire others, become an example, and not only that, also lead life with infinite happiness and joy.
So, if the point which I could make out sitting in this kind of a university here in St. John's is it's not about religion, it's about spirituality, it's about healing, it's about bringing peace in the world. And one of the co-sponsors of today's event is our J. Phillips Center of Interfaith Religion and Dialogue, which we need to promote more and more instead of dividing people, how we can bring people through spirituality, healing, and through knowing how different parts of the world are different, but 95% are similar. So that is very well said. That's a very good, deep understanding. And I'm sure when you were talking, our students were listening deeply, these deep intellectual growth, because after all, we are all going to die. It sounds dramatic, but that's true. But they are the future.
That's the only inevitable
yes.
phenomena.
Correct.
And
Correct.
With more spiritual balance,
Correct.
you will understand the macro perspective towards that inevitable phenomena.
Correct.
And you'll relax a bit. Otherwise, you'll go crazy.
Correct.
You'll go mad.
Correct. The last question which I have for you is, in your art, in your work, you use very bright colors like blue, red, orange, compared to most traditional artists who use more of a gray color. And if it is not 50 Shades of Gray, then the other choice is bright colors. And when I see your paintings in live, in actual 3D, it is so much, catches the attention of the eye, of the mind, of the spirit, that you really have to see it live, not just seeing it on a screen alone. So that's a very bold move. Just like Starbucks, when it was created, it came up with bold coffee. Everybody said to them in the 70s, this is going to fail. You have the bold colors, the new Starbucks from Kalikat genre. So how do you keep on sticking to that? And what is the reason you stick with these bright, bold, beautiful colors?
Well, I mean, someone might just try to define the entire phenomena as me being a very colorful person. Well, that's still a joke.
Yes.
But let's put it this way, that color is a psychophysical phenomena, as we all know. It has got a physical impact on you. It has got a psychological impact on you. And always remember that color is therapeutic. Okay. So it changes the mind, changes the boredom, changes the tranquility. And we all go through a lot of stress these days. Racing, we have got so many different departments of life, and all of them don't go really well all together. And end of the day, what you really need to do is come back home, come back to your nest, and rest peacefully. And I personally feel that if my art hanging on a wall with a lot of colors, if after a very gray day, you come across my art and get to see a lot of colors, so immediately the neurons in your mind jump up in excitement, and they immediately start, getting you all the happy hormones. And I personally feel that that's how immediately there is an impact on a person, and the person feels happy, the person feels joyous. I mean, and what better therapy it can be. So I'm quite aware of. So when I was, there is a small bit of an information story. So when I was just started selling my art many years back, and I used to really meet a lot of masters and artists who used to be really quite famous and doing great in their life. And they used to often tell me that it's very bold, it's very vibrant. Gradually you'll become matured, and one big parameter to understand that an artist getting matured is the colors are adding gray to that entire canvas. And it never happened to me because, I am excited. I get excited to see when my patrons, when my art buyers, when my people, they look at my art and feel happy. And I feel that if through my art and through my colors, if I can contribute this much, add this bit of value to the life, then why bother about it? And this has become now a practice. And I really think about coming up with all these colors, and always remember that at times it happens that there are a lot of characters, gods and goddesses, who are like kind of otherwise very muted characters, very gray characters. So when they come on my canvas, they become like heroes, and they become like, characters to get celebrated. So that at times probably people talk about that as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that art and colors are very therapeutic, and I feel that if colors can really heal minds and add value to your life, then why not really practice the colors and stay away from the grays? I mean, I always believe that grays. There are enough grays in our life, so we can always avoid that on the canvas.
Exactly. So listening to you, and as I'm sitting, again, I repeat, sorry for repeating, on a Catholic Benedictine university, a traditional, very well-renowned, one of the top 100 universities in liberal arts education. Year after year, it has been ranked. I feel your work with the colors, sitting here, and when we miss Holi, I attended Holi only last year after 20 years.
Oh, is it?
I feel your art is a holy every day, bringing holiness. So that's what, like the colors really feels the spirit of Holi. So if you can have Holi every day, why not? Spread the joy.
Of course.
So thank you for coming today. I think we had an incredible day.
We had a long, incredible day, and I loved it, because end of the day, when you see a very satisfied audience glued to your talk and presentation for a couple of hours, getting to learn about your art, which is so alien to them.
Correct.
At times I was really wondering that how can I actually explain Durga with 10 hands and with so many demon faces right below her.
Correct.
So, but I'm very impressed with the way they had the open mind to be inclusive enough to listen to me, to understand an interfaith conversation. That was the fundamental purpose of this
Today's
seminar.
dialogue.
And I guess it's a super success. Congratulations to you as well for
I think you adjusted it very well.
I guess you envisioned such a day, and it has happened.
And thank you, because you adjusted your audience very well, which is very different from the normal audience we are used to. They don't know much of India. They're young minds and hearts. So it was a great experience for them.
Was there an Indian besides you? I guess
there were a couple of them.
Couple of Indians.
Yeah,
oh my God!
So out of 200 people.
Out of 200 people,
yes,
there were only 2 Indians.
2-3 Indians. That's about it.
And I got to introduce all the Ganeshas and Lakshmis and Saraswatis and Durgas and Shivas to so many non-Indians. So it was a great experience. Let me share with all my fans and followers. And I believe that I had a great experience staying here, conducting this particular seminar. And I'm sure that this is getting me a lot of hope that someday down the line, art is going to heal the world, is going to eradicate all the boundaries, and we all get united and believe in the same philosophy behind life.
Yes, well said. So with that, thank you for coming, and it has been
My
a great pleasure.
Always, King.
And I'm sure Minnesota Nice will bring you over and over again.
Now party time. Now enough of work, now party time.
Thank you.